Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Today we're looking at HelpScout. Let's take a look. Let's see. I like it. I think this is HelpScout. I think this is built with HelpScout, right? That's what HelpScout does. Yeah, powered by HelpScout. Yeah. I don't think I've ever really interacted with a Help Center that was built on HelpScout, so this is going to be good and actually interesting for me to look through to figure out what, how it works, how it's organized. Let's play around. Okay, one thing is when I'm navigating, right? I don't know if you saw it. That contact us is like pop, pop, pop. I'm gonna do it one more time. Pop. So, one thing that does is it does promote people to reach out. Again, we don't want to make people reaching out for help um, negative, right? We always want people to have a clear path to communication, especially with their support team. However, if we want to implement self-service, we need to be able to give them an opportunity to self-serve. If we show this little pop-up, I call them hellbenters. So you'll have some people who reach out to support a couple ways. You'll have people that want to try to solve their problem, which is great. You'll have some people that maybe they don't really care if they talk to someone or they solve their problem. Again, great. But then you have help hunters who, no matter what, in their mind, it's like we're logging in and we're talking to somebody right now. Now, again, totally their prerogative of how they want to reach out and if they want to get support. However, it's not great for self-service. And a lot of the times what you will find is even with hellbenters who want or just hell-bent to talk to support, if you can get them that self-serve documentation and answer their question, they don't have to wait for a response. So sometimes they don't realize that it's actually better for them and they're happier when they're served that self-service because they're like, I need to talk to someone about this right now. And then we serve them that self-help documentation and they're like, oh, cool, I don't have to wait anymore. Um, so that initial pop of like reach out to us doesn't really help those hellbenters because they're unless there's like some form of self-service that I'm just talking shit about and it just doesn't it shows when I press send message. Um, it's important to try to give them the opportunity, especially because 48 hours, right? That's typical. That's on a bad wait time for 24, 48 hours for a support ticket to be answered. That's very typical. But allowing them to see that self-service opportunity before having to submit the email and it's just it's they get happier people, happier help enters. Let's take a look at documentation. It's very pretty. Oh, will pop up. No, thank you. Now, one thing it looks like I'm getting sent somewhere else. This is the blog. Okay, I see what's happening. So here it's the beginner's guide. I'm saying okay, beginner's guide, but then it's sending me to the blog. So I'm kind of getting navigated out. This is something that I have very intense opinions about, so I'm going to tell you them. For the Help Center, if you navigate someone to the Help Center, there's very few situations where you want to navigate them out. And I say that because rare situations being education, webinars, things where they're wanting to go out, right? So if I'm coming to this article, let's say I want to figure out how to set up my Help Scout account and I'm having some problems. Okay, cool. I want to read the guide. Amazing. I read some of the guide. Okay, cool. Getting started. Love it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, I was thinking about adding a team member. How do I do that? Wait a second. I'm not in the Help Center anymore, right? So I might start navigating. Oh, supportive. Oh, no, wait, this is his blog post, right? So it's a podcast, actually. Cool. I like the branding. Side note. So that goes somewhere else. So I always like people to link out to the help center, but I want it to be a funnel. I don't want them to leave that funnel. So if I have them in the funnel of self-service and have them in the funnel of getting their problem solved, I don't want them escaping. That sounds horrible. I don't want them leaving. And this ways that you could do it is you could just have it like maybe in an iframe. Iframe's a little clunky, but maybe even host the beginner's guide within the help center and then link that for the blog crowd. So the blog crowd comes to the blog website looking for a blog and then gets sent to the help center, but not the opposite way around, if that makes sense. Just try to keep your self-service people in that self-service funnel. It just makes an easier navigation time for them. I do see a naming conventions difference here as well. So we have like create a, what is a, follow a, host a. Yeah, there's not. I think if we have a bit more set naming conventions, it might clear it up a bit. So rather than having like a verb and then a and then whatever it is, I would say we can have create a, that could be type of a template. So our template is called create a, and in these create a templates, we're always talking about creating something within our tool. And it looks a specific way, it always looks the same. And then maybe we have a what is, and then the what is template is what is this, what is that. But if there's a constant naming convention, then it also makes it easier for the user to navigate the search bar. So if we don't have someone who's navigating through individual sections and they want to look up what they want to read via the search bar, yeah, but even manual flows, I don't really know what that means. Am I looking at what it is? Am I looking at how to create it? Am I looking at, I don't know, what am I looking at? Oh, so what is? So, for example, what is manual flows? That would be great. And then I would get an understanding that this is a what is article, or even a how to create a manual flow. Ooh, this is a long one. So maybe having this set in accordions would be really helpful because it is a very long document. Um, or at least maybe like a table of contents, right? Because this, it looks like getting started and then inboxes, still about users, right? So if I had a way that I could navigate it a little more easily, that would be nice. Let's take a look at those videos. I love a good voiceover that's a real person. AI is great. Use it if you need to use it. But I feel like it's like a plus a couple hundred points of for just kudos points. I don't know. It's Carissa points. Whenever somebody uses their own voice or a voiceover, it just feels a bit more personal. Um, Yeah. Again, personal preference though, but it's nice. I like that. And let's see if this one's natural voice as well. It is. Love it. And is this Wistia? It is Wistia. Wistia is everywhere. Amazing. See you guys next time.